G'day. In today's video I'm swapping a battery in a iPhone 12 Pro Max. This particular one, the battery's coming up around 88% and the customer's wanting that to be swapped over. Nohon's a brand that I've been using for quite some time. Been very happy with their quality. So that's the battery I'm going to use. The only way to come across an actual genuine Apple battery is through a genuine Apple repair center. So sadly they tend to gatekeep those parts. Open it up, get some tools, most of which I find to be quite terrible. Some new battery adhesive and the battery. Changing the battery will produce the battery warning message, as it won't be matching the serial number the phone's expecting to the battery that's now in there. So sadly that will be lost. What we can use out of the kit so far is the pentalobe screwdriver. It has a star on there, or what looks to be a star. I have also had this phone on my blue heat pad here at 75 degrees Celsius, so it is quite hot to the touch for me. Heat is your friend when working on this phone. The more heat you can get in there, the better. Typically I wouldn't exceed probably 80 degrees Celsius, as you may damage the display. Now I've heated it up. What I tend to do is open it from this bottom right hand corner. I will attempt to use the suction cup that's provided. I'm not sure how well this will go. It's been a while since I've used a suction cup on an iPhone. But as you can see, very minimal, if any, lift. Let's try some other tools. Right, put that down here. I'm getting a whole lot of nothing. There are particular devices you can get that are designed to open up the iPhones. What I'm going to use is a combination of my thin metal pry tool, a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. That will soften the adhesive and make it a bit less sticky. So in turn I should be able to open this phone a bit easier. At least that's the aim. So with my thin pry tool, I'm just going to try and push it straight down here. Combine that with this. I might almost be able to stick this one in here instead. Nope. This is the most delicate, cautious part with the highest chance of damaging something. Like that. I'll put some down there now. A little squirt. Starting to get a bit of lift down the bottom here. No. No. Starting to get a little bit of a gap there. Okay, now with that, levering it up. There we go. As you see, I'm working the edges that I can get to nice and easily, rather than trying to force a bit. Just keep working your way around and softening it up. If a bit that seems to be well and truly stuck, don't try and force it, as you may damage the OLED or crack the display. go, nearly out. A bit more of my friend isopropyl. There we go. Now I can fold it over like a book. And from here, we can see the battery here. Next up, I want to disconnect this shield here. You can remove the screen. In this particular instance, with the tools on hand that I have, I don't think I'll necessarily need to. But I would recommend you guys, without the correct tools or isopropyl alcohol, to remove the screen completely. Fold it over this way, one hidden screw down here. There. Put that over. Now from here, I'm going to disconnect the battery. With just my nail pulling underneath it and flicking up. So going under, flick up, that should release. Now I'm going to put some isopropyl alcohol around the sides. So this is still at 75 degrees. The pull tabs I usually see as absolutely woeful. So I'm going to try to avoid them completely. Now I've got a different pry tool. Out of the tools that are included, most of them are pretty dud. I'm using just a plastic pry tool here. It should enable me to go under the battery and pull it up. Like so. Now the isopropyl does make this ridiculously easy to swap. So sorry at home, you're going to probably be battling these. The pull tabs I always find is snap, so they're quite useless. But that there is the original battery out of this particular one. From here I'm going to switch off my blue heat pad, as it no longer needs to be on. And because it's come off like so, I don't have to reuse the original or the replacement factory tabs. Once the isopropyl dries up, it's going to be plenty tacky to stick this down just fine. This comes off. Put that to the side. Look at the milliamp hours. What have we got here? 3687 milliamp hours. 3687 milliamp hours. So now this should be able to line up. Push down. Push in. Connect the battery up from there. I'm going to slide it forward slightly. Should be a matter of just lining it up over, wiggling it a little bit and pushing down, and it should click into position. There we go. That's lined up, pushed down, clicked into position. Now from here I'm pretty much right to revert, or to put this back together. Because I didn't take out too much, it should be pretty straightforward to put this back together. Single IO shield, flip the screen over, 2 pentalobe screws. If you can get your hands on isopropyl alcohol for the job, that's going to make this so much easier to do. As it just makes that adhesive just lose all effectiveness. And when it loses all the effectiveness, you can just lift out stuff like that with relative ease. By using the enclosed tools, with no heat, no isopropyl alcohol, it's going to be a massive struggle. Now I should be able to fold it back like a book. Should be able to clip in the top first. Well, that's what I typically aim to do. And work my way down the phone. There we go. Next up, 2 of the pentalobe screws. One here. And the other one here. Typically from here the battery should have enough charge to turn on and go. We'll usually recommend charging the first charge to fully charged. And once it's fully charged, take it off and use it as normal. Anyway, that's a using of the Nohon 12 Pro Max battery with some of the tools, but mostly heat, isopropyl, pry tools. Hope this helps you, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.